you think I'll ever cover the S and V final boss theme? Yeah, probably. It'll probably be a little while though, because I got a lot of flack for doing Penny's theme so early. You can blame the fucking snobby spoiler elitists for that. I have noticed. It's all right. YouTube's not fucking pushing me. I've fucking accepted it. I mean, the new Pokemon covers have been like Penny's theme was funny because it started, and it's just like, wow, people really hate this video. Consider doing something else, idiot. And then like, you know, I looked at it in a few more days, and it's just like, wow, this is performing like the second best on your channel in like whatever, how many months or whatever. And just like, yeah, I mean, it's funny if you actually pushed my fucking videos to people who might actually watch it, maybe they would watch it. So yeah, but I mean, what's the point in getting mad at YouTube? It just fucking sucks. I enjoyed Penny's theme. Why do people get mad? Because people were like, oh, I didn't know you were gonna fight Penny. You know, it's like, yeah. Because, you know, she starts out being like ooh, I'm just a nervous schoolgirl. Watched it only after. Yeah, I know. It's like, how, well, I guess it's because people are like, I mean, since it's in like the thumbnail and the title that you fucking versus Penny theme. I don't know. People got mad about that. All these themes getting that kind of like, yeah, well, shit is what it is, I guess. Can't really predict it all the time, but I mean, you know, obviously, like, I don't care about the people who are like being an asshole about it. Like, I'm glad I spoiled it for you. But like, for those that probably didn't say anything, and they're like, oh man, I didn't want to have that spoiled for me or whatever. Like, I do feel kind of bad about that. Like, I mean, you know, a lot of people just be like, just don't look at the internet, idiot. You know, like, just fucking before you finish something so you can avoid spoilers. And like, I was talking to Lyle, and he was saying that like he literally like fucked his sleep schedule specifically so that he could play God of War Ragnarok, and just like pretty much just like just as much as he can, just dive into it, no spoilers, nothing, and he still got something fucking spoiled. Apparently it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't like a huge spoiler, but it's insane. And I mean, I'm sure there are people here who are like, oh, well, I don't get anything spoiled, I don't know what's wrong with them. Like, I think it's probably more noticeable when you're like trying that hard specifically to not have something spoiled. And if you're just kind of like, oh, whatever, I don't really care about spoils, then you're not gonna like remember all the times that you had something spoiled for you. It's like a what do you call it? Confirmation bias? Selection bias? What the fuck is this called? Yeah. Yeah, and then you have Square games where they fucking spoiled the game in the trailer and haven't figured out how to stop doing that. Yeah, like, again, I get why people would be mad, but sometimes I teeter on that, right? Because sometimes, like, Penny's theme was like, when I went through the whole soundtrack, that was the one that stood out to me, like by far. And I had that kind of like internal struggle of like, okay, am I gonna cover a song that's from earlier in the game that I don't really care about, or am I just gonna dive into the one that I really liked the most? And I just decided, like, fuck it, I'll do the one that I really like the most. You know, haters gonna hate, and they sure did. But it's fine. Like, I mean, it didn't really bother me. It's just, it's dictating my selection of songs, specifically with like doing like the final boss battle for Scarlet and Violet. Obviously, I'm not even at the part where you fight Penny. I like listening to game soundtracks like all the way through before playing the game, because it gives me a little bit it gives me more of a dopamine hit when I hear them in the game, I think. I think there's a lot of people who always ask me like, how do you go about choosing what cover you do? And you know, it's not really like as concrete as I think people think. Unseen One wasn't that hard. See, like when you cover video game songs, like you're playing music that's like not designed to be in the hands. So like one of the hardest covers I've ever had to do is probably like Enmity of the Dark Lord from Binding of Isaac, because there are all these arpeggios that are just impossible. Whereas like something like Unseen Ones is actually played on a guitar, so it's possible, you know? For like a lot of other songs, I find I have to like really kind of do insane stretching and tapping and stuff, and you know, that one just kind of falls in the hands easier. Team Star Boss theme was, yeah, that's a good one. It's definitely probably one I'm gonna do soon. But I really want to do more Sonic Frontiers music, because that's the one I've been playing the most right now. I just finished the third island. No, I'm almost done with the third world, like world 3. So far, the boss music for 1 and then 2, like, chills. Absolute fucking chills. People keep calling Find Your Flames the version of Buried Light. Find Your Flame is the second world, right? How did you manage to get through that? I love it. I'm in such a flow state with Sonic Frontiers that I'm having a great time. Pick a best soundtrack for 2022. I think Sonic Frontiers. I have so much respect for somehow making a Sonic OST with a 9-string guitar. And it's sounding fucking good, you know? Break Through It All is the second boss scene. All right, so then what's so I'm about to hear Find Your Flame. Dude, Break Through It All gave me chills, man. Like during the second phase of that fight, I was so fucking frustrated with it. It was pissing me off so much because I don't know. There's like one part like towards the end where you have to hit the X button when the ring touches it, and I go so fast that I don't even see the ring. I'm just fucking focused on the X. So I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to press it, and then I failed it. And then had to do the whole boss over again. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I go to get to it again, try it again, doesn't work. And then I go to it again because I'm like, okay, maybe I have to mash it. So then I mash it, and then that doesn't work because it just makes me lose faster. And then I'm like, God damn it! So then I just go through it again because it's like fucking like, it feels like 20 minutes to get to that point in the boss, and there's no like checkpoint. You have to start the whole boss over. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, I love Sonic! It's such a fun fucking game! You know, and like, I really do like it. Cause like I'm sitting there and I'm just like getting goosebumps from the music. I'm like, God damn it! Emotional whiplash! So it's fun. It's a great game. You should play it. It's amazing. I haven't played Xenoblade 3 though. I haven't played much of any of the Xenoblades, but yeah. That's one I'm finally gonna catch up with. Have you ever played a game that made you cry? Yeah, Octopath Traveler made me cry. And it made me cry because the music during a fucking like side ass random scene or whatever, it had this song playing on classical guitar that made me fucking like nut out my eyeballs. I was like, wow, it's been a long time since games made me cry. The song's called Enveloped in Kindness. I don't even fucking remember what was happening in the story. I just remember that song coming on and like, oh shit! Like, oh fuck, man, this shit fucking slaps. Getting Octopath 2. I overdid it on Octopath 1. I don't know if I'm gonna play Octopath 2. I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't think a lot of people know, but I did that whole like 32 song album in like a month or something crazy. I mean, there was a few I did outside that month, but the majority of it was done like one song a day. Crazy. Oh, you like the cover of Prelude? Thank you. I feel like a lot of people didn't, so I do really appreciate that. Because like since I played it on classical guitar, like it didn't really have like the sustain that a harp does, you know? So like a lot of the time since I'm dealing with 6 strings and trying to go above the range of the guitar, it sucks because I worked so hard on it too. I love how it sounds like classical music. Thank you, yeah. Yeah, that like I remember actually like going to my guitar teacher about that and being like, yeah, I want to do this song. And he's just like, you can't. You don't have the fucking range for it. What do you mean you want to do this song? And I'm like, I don't know, I want to figure it out. Did the same thing when I told him I wanted to play Adagio for the strings. He was like, you can't. Half those chords are like 8 notes stacked. You only got fucking 6 strings. 1 or 2 games make you cry. Trouble with chords, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the chords are hard enough on a 6 string. If you're having trouble on a 6 string, the 7 string's gonna be kind of a bitch. I mean, I feel like I very rarely do chords on my 7 string. I did that thing, Sab, where I read that as I heard Adagio for the strings in a sex ensemble, and I had many questions. Yeah, I bet it's really different with a full orchestra. I want to do a fucking metal cover of it. You know how much that would be insane? But like, I feel like it'd be so hard to make it sound anything like the original. Now I can't get the idea of a full-blown orgy, everybody moaning, and it just sounds like a Adagio for the strings. Come on, it's a little bit funny. It's a little bit funny. Just mostly because it's just so sad. Like, everyone's fucking partying up.